Hey guys, welcome back to the channel here. Today I'm going to be giving you my predictions for what each roster is going to be looking like coming into the 2024 season. As you can see, we already have some of the guys that are still on contract with these teams. The only one that's questionable is Priesta here with New York. As of the time I'm recording this, he has not signed a deal yet, but I'm sure in the coming days that'll come through. So we'll just assume that the national champion or the world champions will stick together. So first we'll start with an easy one. It's already pretty much been confirmed, as long as nothing crazy happens, is Envoy to Toronto, and forming that crazy SMG duo with him and CleanX. They wanted to ship Insight and CleanX, try and get some money back. Doesn't sound like there's anyone that's looking really for a buyout like that, so I think they're going to end up being stuck, having to pay everyone, and if you're going to keep paying everyone, might as well go for a championship. Next kind of no-brainer, I think everyone's kind of known that Drazah picked FaZe over OpTic. It's kind of fitting. It seems like FaZe has been kind of like the villain squad, and you add Drazah being one of the most, I don't want to say most hated, but I feel like a lot of people dislike Drazah, probably because of this whole girlfriend at champs thing from 2 years ago now. But in game he'll have great comms, he'll add better pacing, and with Cellium I think wanting to move over to a main AR, if you add probably the best flex player in the game in Drazah, can't get much better than that. Next we'll go over to OpTic Texas here. The one that's already pretty much guaranteed is Pred. He already signed a contract. We don't know if it's with OpTic, but we're guessing. And that'll be another crazy SMG duo. Next, I think there's always been, talk about, the flex role. They wanted Drazah, can't get Drazah now. There was talks of, some people are saying maybe Ghosty will come back. I don't necessarily see that. I think he'd be open to it, but I don't know if everyone team-wise would be. I think the most likely scenario is Simp comes in, adds even more slaying. Someone's just going to have to, they're going to start picking up OBJ a lot more. There's a lot of slaying. They're going to have to figure it out when it comes to OBJ. Next is where it gets kind of confusing because there's a lot of holes here. I think Slasher, sounds like Slasher probably end up in Minnesota. That's where a lot of people have him going. And after that it gets a little bit questionable. I've heard, maybe Attach will come with him. It's really an interesting team to think about, because you already have some good players that were on your team that you lock. Attach said he wouldn't be surprised you see some people back. I think he'll be back on a little bit of a cheaper contract to pair with Slasher. And then as SMGs, it's where it gets kind of questionable, because are there good SMGs? Yes, but who do you pair with these two? I'm not sure yet. I think I'm actually going to come back to it because I'm not sure as of right now. So next, I've heard Boston Breach talking to Clacer. That's a big one. Yeah, haven't really heard much else outside of that. So that seems like kind of the most likely situation. I think Vegas is going to go with a complete different lineup than what they had last season. And one of them, I think they're going to give GodRx a chance. He just won Challengers. I think he deserves to be in the league. I think Vegas would be the perfect spot for him, because he'd take a lesser contract to compete back in the league, back on the main stage, show what he's actually worth. So that would leave. I'm trying to decide if Vegas would go almost all new. Because I know GodRX can play main. I know he can play flex. Which makes me want to give Mohawk finally his chance. But he didn't really do much this year. So this is where it gets kind of a lot of question marks overall. I think it depends on what. Man, a lot of these teams kind of depends on, because the bigger teams outside of Thieves are already done. So maybe we focus on the Thieves. Unless Attach and Slash, I think Slasher will probably go to Minnesota. Unless he reunites with Kenny, I could also see that. I have heard Accuracy and Kenny as a team coming back together. That would be interesting. Outside of that, there's not a lot of rumors outside of this Florida team. You know, with what's going on in regards to the teams that don't have anybody. I guess we can go to Florida here quick, kind of round them off. It kind of depends on which team or which players they want to play or have start. I heard Eric Boom would be one. I don't know roles with these Spanish players, so I might have them in the wrong area here. I do know Super is a AR player. I'm not sure about Journey. Really not sure about Rancor. Putting these two as, or I guess these three as subs, because it could be really any of these guys. I think honestly Methodz is probably more likely to be in the roster than Journey. I think it would be a team of maybe this four, maybe take Super out as well and put Rancor in, and that be the four plus your three subs. These guys might not all be signed. You know, Vickle's the only one confirmed right now. But it sounds like they want to go with the whole Spanish roster. And, well, you might as well pretty much get everyone. I mean, heck, maybe even Real. Do a full 8-man roster. Yeah, without knowing any more information, sounds like it's going to be an all-Spanish squad. These are some of the best Spanish players from last year. So it's going to be kind of pick and choose who they want. Next, going to Seattle Surge. Haven't heard much from them. I think this is where Assault could probably slide in. Seattle Surge is really interesting because you never know. They're not the most. They're not the team that spends the most. So that's where it gets kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you probably see Ghosty maybe go there, but I think Ghosty would have higher options elsewhere. I think the London Royal Ravens are going to go a complete different route. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place here. I think aBeZy and aBeZy would finally get their chance. Maybe Phantoms finds his way into this roster too. They seem to always want to go with like at least a majority EU squad. So what better way to do that than have probably three of the best EU challenger players outside of the Spanish boys to join, and then you add a fourth, like I don't know, maybe like a Furious, something like that, maybe. Could see Zero back in there. I don't think Scraps would ever get, not say never get, but he won't get a spot back here. Doesn't sound like Zero will either, even though I think he deserves it. Yeah, it'll be something. I think aSim will probably go to play with Attach again. If I remember right, they played, I think, Black Ops 4 together. Could be wrong with that, but I think so. Oh, actually, instead of Phantoms, maybe Phantoms would be a sub. I think Wardy. I think that would be a better 4. I don't know roles wise. I think aBeZy is a flex or a main AR. I think these two are both ARs. Anyways, yeah, London's such a hard gamble because the one person that they should have kept, they released. Maybe they'll sign him back, but I don't know. I guess I can finish out this Minnesota one. So with Slasher attached, Asim, who kind of makes sense here. Not really. Maybe Vivid would join. Yeah, we'll say Vivid. I think that'd be a okay lineup. It's a pretty mid lineup again, if you ask me, but it's kind of what's going to happen when your options are kind of limited. Next, I guess we'll go back to Seattle Surge. You have Assault. Does Ghosty go to Seattle? I don't think so. Depends on where Temp wants to go to. I think Temp will probably end up in LA maybe. Do Accuracy, Temp, Kenny, and I don't know who the other SMG would be for that. Maybe Huke. Do I like that team? Because Temp and Huke are friends. They play together for... Yeah, I kind of like that squad. I think Slaying would be a little bit of an issue. Accuracy's pretty inconsistent. Kenny's inconsistent. Huke's inconsistent. But if they're all clicking, that'd be a really scary team. Next, I think... Clayster... It's really hard to tell. I think Sensor would be... I don't think Sensor will get on the squad. I want to say he'd get to Vegas because they need like that face of the franchise, but I don't see him leaving Boston. So he might be like Boston Academy all over again. That's where it really gets hard. I think we'll stick. I think I heard iLLeY, Arcitys. Well, Huke was also in their rumor, so maybe those two will team together. They seem to be doing a lot of like 8s and all that together. I think Clayster and Ghosty will team up together. Then they would have to find 2 SMGs, which... Do we put Yeez in there yet? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure what you do with that. I would say Gwen deserves a spot, but I just don't know with the available talent. These are the guys I kind of assumed would have the best chance of getting back in the league. With Clayster and Ghosty. SMGs are really kind of drying up. I think JoeDeceives looked really good, so he might get a spot with Boston. Oh, I forgot to add Snoopy. So I think Snoopy would actually probably complete this lineup there. And TJ will find a spot somewhere. Maybe with a Seattle Surge. With somebody else. I think Seattle Surge is going to be really hurting here next year. Maybe Owakening joins Vegas. I don't know. It's pretty hard to tell. I think there's a lot of teams that might be losing out on some good SMG duos. Because it seems like ARs are pretty easy to find. Do I like GodRx? I think GodRx is more of a Seattle guy. Assault and GodRx back together with TJ, sure. And then Awakening probably moves to main AR. I think that's where he played better as anyways. I don't see these two getting a spot anymore. Oh crap, Afro. I forgot about Afro. Okay. This is where it kind of gets tough. So I think I can see Gunless maybe getting a spot back. I'd like to see him get a spot back anyways. I think he deserves it. Dang. See, this is where it gets tough. I believe aBeZy is more of an main AR, so maybe like a Cammy would fit there. Would Afro go back as well? Maybe something like that. I like that better actually. Maybe aBeZy as a substitute. I think Furious falls out then. Issue's gonna keep coming back to SMGs. I think Fame and GodRx might come back and team together. That just leaves a couple SMG spots left. And honestly, Gwen might go there. I don't know. You gotta find SMGs that'll mesh well. See, here's the problem in real time here is people are gonna run out of SMGs. Like Persini, would he get back in the league? Maybe. Oh, Johnny coming back. I don't know. That's where it gets tough. I know Persini and Gunless are friends, so we'll put them there. Maybe put Johnny with them. And then maybe put Yeez there. I don't know. Yeah, we'll say that. Obviously, you know, some of these guys will be substitutes. Some of them will be just free agents again. Who knows? I think Nero deserves a spot somewhere in the league, but I don't know where he would go. Maybe instead of Yeez, we'll put Nero there. Oops. There is anyone else I'm like missing? Capsule. Yep. I could be doing this forever. Maybe Johnny skips out. Capsule will go there. Standy. See, I'm missing people already. Gwen. Yeah. Standy part of LAG. Sure. See, it gets pretty tough here. I think that's gonna do it though. I think that is. Yeah, that's gonna be everyone that I think is gonna get a roster spot. Some of these obviously are just kind of like randomly thrown together. I think the Seattle Surge team actually could come true. OpTic, Texas, Toronto, New York are all pretty much guaranteed. Don't hate this Minnesota team I've put together. LA Thieves team is very streaky. LAG is going to be very mid again, unless someone really shocks me. London, I think that you got some good upside. I mean, you got Afro coming back. Cammy would be a good add-on. Wardy finally gets his chance to prove himself in the league. I think aBeZy definitely needs to be in the league. He was probably one of the best challenger players from start to finish this year. Vegas Legion, who really knows what they're going to do? It sounds like they're not even going to bring back Temp, so just kind of who can they get that's best? Also kind of stings that Florida's going all... well, it sounds like it's going to be Miami Heretics, but for right now it's still Florida. Kind of sucks that they're all going to be Europeans because, I mean, you got some good players still, you know, Brack, Havoc, Major Maniac, Gwen, Furious. I mean, there's a lot of players that deserve to be in the league. Mohawk, Gravity. classic. But yeah, there it is. Let me know what you guys think. Some of these are pretty bad, some of these are pretty good, I think. And yeah, let me know what what would you want your CDL roster to look like for your team. Let me know that in the comments, and we'll see you all later.